Yes, sir. And remember, you can get 10% off. Use my code Big O at redrecover.com. It's helped me grow back my hair. So my natural yarmulke is starting to disappear. So it could work for you. And then for all kinds of pains, all kinds of joints, shoulders, elbows, knees. You saw Hayden Hurst there in the commercial. He uses Red Recover. Maybe Ian Rapoport can start using Red Recover to recover from all of that. From his collision with J.K. Dobbins. Good morning, sir.
What's up, man? Don't need it for the hair. All good on the hair.
There you go.
The rest of the body, maybe. The J.K. Dobbins thing was that was interesting.
I found it funny because I don't think he actually read your report. You never said he was out. You said he was on pace, barring any setbacks. That's when he may not be available in week 1.
Yeah, I mean,
he really, he kind of like overreacted a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody does, and nobody reads the articles, and no one reads anything but the headlines, and it's fine. Like, I'm so used to this, and I don't honestly, like, I don't even mind him getting upset because, part of the deal is if I'm going to be able to say and report what I believe is true, and I firmly believe this, there is a real chance that he misses week 1. Not guaranteed, but there is a chance. Then he's allowed to react. And I think that's all fine. And I'm not mad at him. He's probably mad at me, but I'm not mad at him. I do think he was a little upset that, players are rehabbing and they're grinding, and he's kind of in a little bit of a tunnel here, just trying to get back. And, probably felt to him like I was casting doubt on his recovery. Reality is, like, this was a really serious injury. It was an ACL. It was, a meniscus. It was a tear on the lateral side too. It was a really serious knee injury, and it happened in training camp. So wouldn't be the first knee that takes more than a year to get back. It doesn't mean he's never going to get back to what he was, but like, this is a real injury, and I don't believe the Ravens are going to rush him at all.
Right? No. Why would you want to rush him, especially when the guy that plays quarterback, in order for him to have success, he must have that running game going. That's how he's going to be at his best. Without that running game, he can't sit there in the pocket and beat you with his arm. So it's imperative that when you bring back J.K. Dobbins, make sure that he is 100% healthy so he can help that quarterback. Speaking of that quarterback, what's the deal with the contract? When's that going to happen?
It doesn't seem like there's much discussion at all. Unless they're having it totally secret and nobody knows, which I guess anything is possible. It doesn't seem like he's really made moves to do a deal. I think for everybody wants to weigh in on, what Lamar should do and when he should negotiate and what kind of deal he should get and all of that. And that's fine. We're all allowed our opinions, just like he's allowed his. But he's never been conventional. He has never been exactly what anybody wants or expects, or he's always been kind of his own dude. And he is allowed to be, so if he wants to take the risk, like let's say he wants to go franchise tag, and then be a free agent. He is allowed. It is a risk, but he is allowed. Now, if he stays healthy and continues to be the superstar quarterback that he's been, he's going to set the record by a lot. He's going to be in free agency, and he will be the most coveted free agent we've ever seen. The top quarterback able to make $60 million. So that might be what he wants.
So let me ask you, because, I like the kid personally and all of that. I have never been a believer of him as a quarterback, period. Okay. As a passer.
He was the MVP.
Yeah, I know. And he was the MVP mainly because
good that year.
Yeah. The legs are what makes the difference with him. But I just think he's the kind of guy that once you stop the run, he can beat you with his arm on a consistent basis. So for me, and this is the cynical one in me, being in this business for 32 years, I almost feel like the Ravens, this is the best scenario for them because they have completely sold out for this kid. Unlike most teams would not bend backwards to build an offense specifically for this young man, because it's really hard to even have a backup or anything like that, because nobody can do what he does. With those, nobody can run like he's like Barry Sanders at quarterback or something. It's the weirdest thing. Nobody's ever seen a freak like that. But I think the Ravens also see that when you get to the playoffs, if you're not dominating with the run, he's not going to be the difference maker with his arm. So I'm wondering if there's a part of me that says to the Ravens are saying, you know what, this is our best case scenario. Now he put all the eggs on his basket, and if he fails this year, unlike Flacco, we won't have to pay him. We can part ways and we can move on. Or again, they might be crazily committed to this type of football from here on out. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're wrong on all of that, because to me, the price only gets higher. Like, I don't think, like, let's say he slows down by 1%. I don't think he's going to, but let's say he does. He's still dynamic threat. If you watch the Colts game from last year, he beat him with his arm. He's still, to me, more than good enough as a passer, even without the legs. The offense is so well designed. It's perfect for him. To me, the price only gets higher. And then if you're the Ravens, like, let's play this out a little bit. Let's say he goes 5th-year option, tag, and in 4 years, he's a free agent.
Right.
Their options are this. Let him walk out the door. Don't pay him $60 million. But then who do you have? You need a quarterback. Like, it's not – think of all the teams around the league that just don't have one.
No, we haven't had one down here since Marino, my brother. You don't have to go any farther than South Florida.
Right. So – and that's why, like, the Tua storylines are so important, because, like, if he's the guy, that's it. You're good. You're good for 10 years.
Finally.
If he's not, then you're not good. Right. So, that to me is like, if you're the Ravens, your options, if you play this out in 3 years, are to pay him an unbelievably obscene amount of money or lose him. Neither of those are great options to me.
Right. No, I get if you let him go, then you've got to go get yourself a quarterback, all of that. I just think that this commitment in the end will not pay off, because the stars have to all align for you to get through the playoffs and to the Super Bowl with that type of offense, because you're going to have to dominate the run game all the way through the Super Bowl. You know how special you've got to be in order to do that. And that's where I have a hard time believing that, during the regular season, you can get away with this offense. But when push comes to shove in the playoffs, you're still going to have to beat the elite passers. And I don't know if you can beat the elite passers in a passing league with a running offense. That's my problem.
We're going to find out. And that's what's going to be so interesting about this. Like, I hope he is healthy at the end of this year, because, like, they should be good. They should be really good, and the Steelers may be a little down.
That's the other thing. You're also praying for something that's not realistic either. Oh, he should be. I'm praying that he should be healthy. He's a running quarterback.
Yeah, but we don't really have any evidence.
You're going to get Haloti Ngata eventually.
Yeah, we don't have any evidence that you're more susceptible to injuries if you're a running quarterback versus not. Like, Andrew Luck was not really a running quarterback, and he retired.
He had a terrible line. Steve Young was a running quarterback and decided, I better stay in the pocket a little bit
Russell
more.
Wilson's a running quarterback, and last year's injury was the first time he ever really missed significant games, and that was a finger injury.
Now, Russell has the Lamar Jackson gift, which is the Warwick Dunn gift, which is the Barry Sanders gift, which is you don't get clean shots on those guys.
Right. It's great.
There's a couple of those freaks that, you don't get clean shots on those guys. I get that. But eventually you're going to play roulette, and and RG3 was pretty damn fast, and somebody's going to catch you at one point or another. That's the thing. You're playing with fire is what I'm saying when you play that kind of game. And I just think it's just a fuse. It's only a matter of time before somebody gets Lamar where he didn't see it, and it's a serious injury. You know what I'm saying? That's something that hasn't happened yet to him.
I see what you're saying.
So that's the thing with him. I've watched it every year in the playoffs where that offense dies out. What I need to see is, when is that offense actually going to be productive in the playoffs? That's my question with that offense. And that's why I question whether Baltimore, do you really want to commit to this long term? Is this really the offense in this league? It's like watching the Utah Jazz trying to make it with Rudy Gobert in this NBA. It just doesn't fly. It's just, you can't have
I will
those
stick
kind of
with you on that NBA analogy because you lost me on that one, but I will trust you as the NBA expert on this call.
All right, so what's going to happen with Watson, Doggy? And I'm pretty disgusted to hear that there might be 2 to 8. 8 games is not even enough. But again, that's not what they've said. So you tell me, what are you hearing?
I think first of all, everyone is just waiting. There's going to be a lot of headlines. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of guesses. There's a lot of people expect this many games. Other people expect this many games. I'm not sure any of that actually matters. I understand why people say it, but I'm not sure any of it actually matters. Really what it is it's guesses. The only person who matters is Judge Sue Robinson. The expectation is that we'll have something before training camp, but it's not a guarantee. She could just not do it. She could just not do it. And Deshaun Watson shows up and takes part in training camp, and they just wait. I mean, they'd have to plan either way, but they could just wait. So, I would expect the suspension at some level. I think that's probably fair. How much? I have no idea. The NFL made its case. They have the cases of, I believe, 5 women they presented. They allege violations of the personal conduct policy. Deshaun's people have pushed back very hard on that. And they filed post-trial briefs last week, and we'll see. And that's, in one thing in today's media, it's like, it is okay to say we don't know how many games she is going to give him. We literally do not know, and I don't think anyone really has any idea.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you, Garoppolo. Do they hang on to Garoppolo? Is there a legitimate trade out there? Because it really isn't a lot of options. Seattle's one of them, but there isn't a lot of options for him. And then you're talking about Seattle and San Francisco having to make a trade, which again, that's kind of another hurdle with those.
I'm sure Seattle would be fine doing it, but I don't think San Francisco would.
That's what I mean. It's just kind of an uncomfortable situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's one of those. So what happens? Because again, you got to give Shanahan the benefit of the doubt. They must love this kid. They must see something in him. But boy, you are rolling the dice if you're going to go. Have a hell of a team. That Garoppolo might just get you there if he stays healthy. I don't know if the other kid can get you there. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, in order to trade Garoppolo, they have to know, or they have to firmly believe in their evaluations. And look, they traded 2 first-rounders for him. So they, this is the one to believe in. And if it doesn't work, they're all going to get the repercussion. I mean, it would be really, really, really bad if it doesn't work. We've seen crazier things. As far as Garoppolo, something I reported last night, the expectation is he'll be fully cleared by mid-August. And what fully cleared means is being able to make all the throws over and over and over again, basically being able to take part in a full practice, be a full go at practice. To do that, he will have to pass a physical. So my understanding is he will be able to pass a physical in mid-August. That means you're not going to be able to trade him until mid-August, which means a couple things. 1, what's he going to do during training camp? We'll see. 2, maybe someone has a quarterback injury. Like I agree that I don't see too many markets right now that would want Jimmy Garoppolo and his salary. If a contender has a quarterback injury, all of a sudden he's very interesting.
Right.
So
you're right.
We got some time on our hands. The contract's not guaranteed, so they can take time. It's really fascinating. I'm curious to see which way it goes, but it does seem like they're going to go the Trey Lance route and just put all their stuff in his basket.
They gotta love him. I don't know if you saw the trainer.
Yes, sir. We working. We about to get paid. No. He about to get paid. Yes, sir. We working.
Yeah, I mean, I saw.
You saw? So is Deebo getting paid? The trainer,
I think
corrected it really quick, by the way. No, he's about to get paid.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if they're able to get a deal done. I know the 49ers want to. I know they're working on it. I know they're trying to get something done. It will be expensive, and I think there's a lot that goes into it. It's not simply just, how much money can we give this guy? It's also going to be about role and fit and what their team is like and how he's used and all those different things. Is it possible? I think it's possible. We're probably not going to find out for a couple of days now because, probably going to be right up against the start of training camp. But they got a shot. So we'll see if they're able to get something done for, to make him probably among the highest paid receivers in the NFL.
Yeah. No, because we had the Dolphin Nation. They want to sign everybody, every receiver that's available. So, it's just one of those things. All right, we'll leave it with this. Sean Payton. He says it's hard to predict where he's going, and then reports have him eyeing Dallas and New Orleans and Miami, and looks like he's trying to eye things really south this go around. What do you know about the whole Sean Payton story?
Well, he's going to be in the media for a year, and then we'll see. I think he's going to have some options. His last year in New Orleans was not great. I don't think he was engaged as he needed to be. So the year off will probably help. On the other hand, he could be like everyone who gets in the media and goes, you know what? I kind of like this life. Kind of like it. So I believe he'll be back in coaching eventually. Am I 100% sure it's going to be this year? No, might not be. Media life is great. It's cushy and it's not stressful like the coaching life. So I think he'll be back. And, it's really a matter of.
Really? Do they live your life? Because your life is.
My life is not that stress-free, but these guys live a much better life
I was going to say. Your ass
Sean
is
Payton doesn't want
bro.
my life.
Yeah. You're one of the few in our media business that has an incredibly stressful life. By the way, the one catch to all of this that I'm not attracted to. I'm rooting for Mike McDaniel, so I don't really give a shit about this. But I know he's talking about he also wants personnel power. He didn't have that in New Orleans. I'd be very careful.
He did have that in New Orleans. I think he got to do what he wanted in New Orleans. He ran the show in New Orleans, so it's going to need to be like that.
Okay, you sure he had final say, or he allowed his personnel people to make it? Because like Ireland gets a lot of praise for the last.
Ireland did an incredible job. Ireland did an amazing job making sure that Sean had the kind of players who would fit his system and that he wanted. Ireland did an incredible job.
Yeah, because you talk to people around and they like, no, Jeff Ireland did a lot in New Orleans the last couple of years, and so they like credit him for a lot of the selections. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. So Sean did delegate at least. So
he did, but it was all.
Maybe that's what he means. Maybe that's what he means, that he'll get a personnel guy to let him, because obviously he has to worry about coaching. All right. What are you working on NFL Network this week now that you're back from vacationing, you slacker?
Yeah, we got a little NFL Now coming up. We're there the whole week, and then we get to next time we speak. Hold on, it's Wednesday. Where am I going to be Wednesday?
Well, you coming to Miami, by the way?
Coming to Miami.
We're going to be out of camp.
I'll be at the Bucks Dolphins joint practice, but that's in Tampa, right?
Yeah.
So I'll be in Tampa, which is okay. I'll see the Dolphins at home. Let me see where I'm going to be at next Wednesday. Wednesday I'll be at the Eagles, so we'll be talking from the Eagles or whatever. We'll see.
All right, no problem. And of course, follow him on Twitter at Rap Sheet and catch his work there at the NFL Network. Follow him on Twitter. Constant breaking news, baby, and pissing off J.K. Dobbins. He is Ian Rapoport. Much love, my brother. We'll catch up next week.
Good hanging with you. Take care.
Always a pleasure. There you go. Yes, sir. Ian Rapoport, our Red Recover look around the NFL.